people at Truck Stop done teamed up with the boy Mark the Mentor. Are you ready to take your trucking business to the next level? With Truck Stop Pro, you get access to the best load board in the game, giving you the tools to find higher paying loads and streamline your operation. And right now, you can try the Pro plan free for 30 days, a $159 value. Click the link in the description to claim your free Pro plan and start making smarter moves for your trucking business today.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sweet.
What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Come on in, make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications. What's up? Happy Monday. What's up? What up? Let's get this show on the road. Shout out to Michael Haynes tapping in. What's going on? Shout out to Don Solo representing the crib. DDD Truckers, what's going on? Shout out to St. Louis representing St. Louis. Aspen Rolling representing the West Coast. Shout out to everybody that's out there in LA. Prayers to everybody in LA. What's going on? Shout out to Jonathan representing the Boogie Down. Shout out to SD Walt. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to Weezy representing the 203. Shout out to We Carry Freight Tallahassee. Slick Turbo representing A-Town. Who else we got? Shout out to Jay representing the crib. Michael representing Newburgh, New York. M. Jackson representing the 251. Oblivion, what's going on? Box Truck Buddha representing the south side of the crib. Shout out to everybody that's from the crib, man. It's cold outside. You dig what I'm saying? But it's all good in the hood. What's up? Shout out to Rich representing the crib. What's up? All right, boom. Let's get to it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, hit the like button. Let's get those likes up. Shout out to Harold K. Lloyd Jr. Representing Philly, brotherly love. Representing the brotherly love. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to you. All right, cool. Let's kick it. So today, man, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. I had something else that I was gonna do today, but I'm gonna put that on hold for a second. Shout out to everybody who watched the call-in show last night. Today, I want to talk about something that kind of sparked my interest off, one of the people that called up on the call-in show, and it's something that, that I think is one of the main issues that a lot of people. I don't want to say it's an issue, but it's one of the driving factors of why I think people have issues. And it ain't even got nothing to do with box trucking or trucking in general. It's just anything you do. It could be something that you're doing in life or something that you need to do and you're lacking the motivation or you're lacking the ambition. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Something that I've alluded to in the past. But let's just focus on that today so that, we can, see if we can tap into some people's mindsets and possibly change. Success in business, there's more to it than just, things that pertain primarily to the business, like, knowing what it costs you to run your business, things of that nature. There's other things that you have to do as well. And, one of them is you got to actually love what you do. You got to be obsessed with it. You've heard me say many times that when it's something that I want to do, something that I'm focusing on, I become obsessed with it. Everything else gets blocked out. And when I say everything except God, I know where my priorities lie, but if I'm chasing something, then that becomes my main priority. That becomes at the top of the to-do list. That becomes numero uno next to God. That's where I spend all my time. Everything is focused on that. That's it. You can't be successful unless you become obsessed and have a passion for whatever it is that you're looking to be successful with. So what I want to do is I want to talk about loving and obsessing over what you do, dedication, right? Ambition. And I was listening to a group of people last night, and they were saying that they wanted to come into box trucking, but it seems like they was it seems like they was chasing something. It don't seem like they really wanted to do it because they really have a passion for it. And I think the guy he's already in trucking in some form of fashion, but it just seems like they're chasing something that they feel like they can make money in. And I think that's a lot of people's issue when they come into this and just other things. They trying to find something that they think can turn into success quickly, and they really don't have an interest in it. They just think, okay, this is a quick way to running up a bag. And then what happens is people come in and they don't have that passion for it. They don't like going over the road. They don't want to lift because last night you heard, I don't. I've been in situations in business where I didn't want to do a lot of shit. But once I'm in the thick of it, I don't have no other choice. I have to meet the needs of the business. It's not a I don't. It's a I don't have a choice. I always, like to use, experiences. And shout out to experiences. Some people think experiences don't matter. Experiences do matter. The reason why, I think this is the greatest box truck community is because we share experiences. I share my experiences with you. And you see a lot of people come up here, man, Mark, I was listening to you. And man, I came across the same thing. I heard you say something a few months back. Man, I'm experiencing exactly what you talked about. And because you talked about your experiences, I knew what to do once I started to experience. I talked about Jonathan the other day, something I always allude to when I talk about employees. He's going through it now. He didn't think he would go through it as soon as it is because he's dealing with it with his first employee and he's already dealing with it. But he knows how to deal with it now because I've talked about my experiences. So when I say you have to have a love and a passion, that love and that passion and that obsession is going to drive you to even do things that you personally don't want to do. It's a lot of things I personally didn't want to do with Final Mile and moving. Let's use an example. During the pandemic, I personally didn't want to get back on a truck and lift things at 40 years old. I didn't have a choice. I had to meet the needs of the business. The government stimulated the economy. People didn't want to come to work. I still have to run it up. So I can sit here and be like, well, I ain't getting out there. I ain't been on no truck and lifted nothing in 7 years. And I'm 40 now, man. I ain't got it like how I had it when I was 30, 31, 32, and 33. I just can't. No, I didn't. It wasn't the fact I just couldn't. I did. I had to meet the needs of the business. Me personally didn't want to do it, but me personally, I still had that drive for success. And that drive for that success, the ambition, is what, got me up out of bed, put that uniform on, and got on a truck. That ambition is what drove me on those days where I was just, tired, overworked, short staffed because of what was going on. I'm having to become two people. I remember a job that I was on where it was a new guy. It had to be 2020, 2021. The third guy who was on my route, he didn't come to work that day. He called off. I didn't know at that time he had got the PPP. I found out later. His pattern had changed. Once he got the PPP, before the PPP, he was at work every day. When the PPP came, I noticed I didn't know what it was. I'm just like, man, something different. Man, he got a little more pep. He got a smile. He coming to work with a little bit cleaner or something different about him. And then, it was intermittent taking off. Man, I got to take a week off. I'm going to Vegas. Or, man, I got to do this. I can't come to work. Yeah, because he had the 20-piece nugget. I found out later, but it was one of those days where he took off because he wanted to spend some of that 20-piece nugget. All right, I had a new guy with me. We ran into one of those jobs, one of those days that it was just a tough day. I needed a third person, right? There's no overflow because we're already short-staffed. So I had to do the job of 3 men with 2 guys, me and a new guy. The new guy ain't even the whole guy because he new. So he half a guy as far as experience. And then he's half of that half because he's part of this new generation where, he'll bring something to the truck. And this happened to be a job where there was a long carry, right? We were on Clark Street. We were in Old Town, and it's a high rise. I can't remember the address, but right next to that high rise, there is some units right next door. But you have to go through this gate, and it's a parking lot, and then they got a few apartments like sitting off in the back. The problem is the clearance of the gate. It's a wrought iron gate, and the clearance, we couldn't get the truck through, so we have to park the truck on not Clark Street. I'm sorry, Wells Street. And we had to do a long carry from the units all the way out to Wells Street. Long carry. And so we'll do the long carry, we'll bring something to the truck, and on his walk back to the unit, he got to go on his phone, and that means now he looking his Instagram, he looking at this TikTok or whatever, and that's slowing down his sense of urgency. So now I'm bringing something to the truck, I'm stacking and packing the truck, and then I'm passing him back on the way back into the house. So now I'm doing the work of myself and another 2 men or a man and a half. I had no choice. So now a job that should have took maybe 5 hours turned into 9 hours. What got me through that? The ambition, the passion, my customer. If I didn't love what I did, I probably would have gave up too. My body wanted to give up. Like by hour 7, my body wanted to give up. You know why? Because I still got 2 more jobs to do. That was a day where that day didn't end until the next day. I think we finished that last job at like 12:31 in the morning. So now I got to deal with those customers because we're late. That last customer, they weren't expecting to be, out at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is why guys that are starting new businesses, they leave customers hanging. They don't even have love for their own business. They don't have love for something they created. You build something, you have to love it. You have to be obsessed with it. If you don't love what you're doing, I just really don't see success coming with it. You can't half-ass passion. Passion is passion. You gotta have a burning desire to be successful in whatever it is that you're doing. You have to fall in love with whatever it is you're doing. You have to be obsessed with it. When you love it, like if you love going over the road, it's not gonna feel like work. If you love doing final mile, it's not going to feel like work. If you love moving, it's not going to feel like work. A lot of people look at final mile and moving, guys that really enjoy doing it, they look at it like a paid workout. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification. They look at it like a paid workout. A person that doesn't love it, these are the guys that you hear, man, bro, I want to go home. Like, listen, going over the road, I get it. It's lonely. It can be boring. But you have to if it's your business, if you don't love it, you can't expect nobody to love it more than you. This is your creation. It's just like a child. I always use the child analogy. You birth a child into this world, it's your child. If you don't love it, somebody else will. You come from community like mine. If you don't, and you know, this example that I'm finna go with, you know, it's situational. But you could bring a child in this world, and if you're in a certain community, if you don't show love to your child, someone else will, and it could be the streets. They're gonna search for that love somewhere. I look at a business like a kid, like a child. You birth the business. You birth your child. You raise your child, right? Why do you raise your child? You instill morals and values, education, so that when they become an adult, they can function in society and sustain on their own. And then eventually, when you grow older, like all of our parents do, because you've instilled these morals and values into your child, not only can they sustain and take care of themselves, now they can come and return the favor and take care of you in your old age. I'm going through it. I'm going through it right now. My mother had 2 kids. Every outpatient surgery, I'm there. It's just me. If she, you know, would have, if the lessons that she taught me, I would have not taken them and ignored them and not been mindful of them and went out and didn't do the things that weren't in my best interest, it's a possibility that I probably wouldn't be in a position to even do those things. I might be somewhere where I don't have the time, or I can't take off, or I don't have PTO and things of that nature. Now at a time when she needs me, I have the luxury of, I don't just let me know when. Business, you birth a business, you create the business, you build the business up, you give it everything it needs to sustain on its own, just like you do your child. Because the goal is ultimately for the business to be successful. And in return, what the business is going to do, it's going to take care of you, because the business is going to bring enough revenue that it could sustain on its own and take care of you and your family financially. And the more successful that business is, the more that business can pay you. It can give you bonuses, and it can give you that comfortability of life that everybody is searching for. Look at your business like you look at your child, because technically it is. Once you start the business, LLC, incorporation, however you want to do it, it's just there. If you don't instill morals and values and education into your child, it's just there. If you don't send your kid to school, then they're not going to learn. If you don't homeschool your kid, you have to input these things so that your child, as it grows, eventually when it becomes an adult, it can sustain on its own. Same thing with a business. If you half-ass your business, you're going to get half-ass results. There's got to be some type of obsession there. Anything you do that you want to see positive results, there has to be some type of obsession. The challenges, the long hours, the setbacks. Don't you know when you do something that you love and you're working on it throughout the day, you don't even realize, you look up and it's 9, 10 o'clock at night. You be like, man, where'd the time go? Have you ever been in a situation where you were working at something, or you were building something, or you were just working on something that you love, especially if you love your business, and the time is just flying? It's because it doesn't feel like work. When you do things that you don't like doing, it seems like the time is slow dragging. Think about those times where you were working at a job that you just did not like. I could think about it. Like I talked about Target. When I was at the guy, I really didn't have an issue with the guy. Time would go slow because I was looking forward to getting off so I can go to my second job. My second job was cooler. But when I was at Target, I just did not like it, bro. Those 8 hours were like, and it wasn't the fact that the work was fine. I just didn't like the environment. When I worked for the advertising company, I enjoyed it. I didn't like the environment there. And because I didn't like the environment, the time just dragged every day. When you love something, it transforms the task from like obligations, like you obligated to do it, versus, fulfilling opportunities. Because when I was there, it was really an opportunity. And, I'm grateful for that opportunity now in hindsight, because a lot of things that I did learn there, I was able to implement those things when I became a business owner, especially like a lot of the managerial things and like HR and just, those training sessions that they would give managers to, how to, engage with employees and how to motivate them, and, just different, things, managerial things that they would train us on. So that was paid training at that particular time for something that God had for me later on in life that I didn't even had no knowledge that I was going to even be doing. So that was a fulfilling opportunity in hindsight. But during that time period, it was like an obligation that I did not want to fulfill. The issue is a lot of people look at business like that. The businesses that they created, the businesses that they started, they look at them like mundane obligations. That's why I tell people to find something that you enjoy doing in trucking. Don't just do something because you think, because the barrier to entry is low, as far as box trucking is concerned. I'm just going to do it because the barrier to entry is low, and my favorite content creators say I could run up a bag. And then you find out it's a little bit more to it. Yeah, you can run up a bag, but it's not as cut and dry as the surface level information that you've been consuming. That's why I try to be as transparent as possible. And some people don't like the transparency. Some people think the transparency is doom and gloom. In actuality, it's not. Work is associated with it. And that's the issue. Work. And even with work, no matter how hard and labor intensive it may be, depending on what niche you fall in, you still have to love doing it. I remember, I used to count the stairs. I remember that I would focus on other tasks or other rewarding things that I needed to accomplish when I was doing some of these jobs during the pandemic. I would focus my mind on things that I needed to accomplish. What I was doing was already rewarding. My biggest challenge during that time was just my age. But then that goes back to what I say. You have to love what you do, because even when you're faced with challenge, right, you have to meet the needs of the business. And if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to meet the needs of the business. You're going to do like this and walk away. Entrepreneurship, business, is not for the faint of heart. It's just not. Any business. And we're not even, we truckers, we in trucking, but this isn't anything you do. I could relate it to trucking. I could relate it to working out at the gym, or other businesses, I should say. Even with this, it's work associated with it. The reason why I can pump out content is because I enjoy doing it. Excuse me. I found some level of enjoyment in it. So even though it's not rewarding for me from a financial perspective, I find enjoyment in being philanthropic, right? And that's why I do it. I like the fact that I'm helping people, I'm saving people, I'm helping, people change their mindset. I get nice emails and nice, messages and DMs all the time. There's a lot of people that watch the channel that do not even interact in the chat, but they'll reach out to me behind the scenes. And not everybody that reaches out behind the scenes is, man, I really need your help. There's people that follow the strategies, pay close attention, and they also reach out and thank me. I got a really nice message from someone from Michigan the other day. Said, hey, I watch from the shadows all the time. I've been following you, and just couldn't thank me enough. But they wanted to take the time out to express their gratitude for the information I gave, and it's just, off and running, and hasn't been no looking back. That's what gives me what I need here. I enjoy doing it. It's crucial. In business, it doesn't stop when you park the truck, take the key out, and go home. Or park the truck, take the key out, and if you're over the road, set your bench up to go to sleep if you're sleeping in your truck. Yeah, the physical aspect of it stops, the driving aspect, the lifting aspect, but your brain should still be obsessed with going to the next level. Your mind should be focused on how to get to the next level of success, how to go from starting this business in the red, getting a return on investment, to getting a return on investment. Now let's see how we can increase our profit margin, accomplish that. Now my mind should be focused on how to scale, how to duplicate what I've done with one truck. Okay, how do we go to the next level? How do we duplicate this? If you're not investing time and you're not obsessed with growing, it's just not going to happen on its own. And it takes passion, it takes a love for what you're doing to spend every single waking hour obsessed. If you're not driving, you should be researching. You should be brainstorming. You should be searching for other opportunities. You should be calculating how to increase. You should be consuming information. Education is key. And I know a lot of people frown upon it. So if I'm telling you a lot of people frown upon it, we've seen it in some of these call-in shows. You got content creators that denounce it. So if you see that there's an overabundance of people that are frowning upon education, you look at the statistics of the success to failure rate, that's one of those things where the light bulb should pop into your head and be like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Maybe this has a direct correlation of why this side weighs heavier than this side. And then that should encourage you and give you the motivation, give you the ambition to do what's in your best interest, which is educate yourself. See, my OG always told me, education is going to be your sharpest tool. It's going to be your sharpest weapon. That's what's going to make you dangerous in society. She never lied. And it's going to be in a good way for you, but into the eyes of others, especially your own, she never lied. Education is going to be your sharpest tool in the toolbox. It's going to be your most dangerous weapon. You know why? Because in certain situations and environments, it's just not that prevalent. What you have with that weapon, and because you have it and you're able to utilize it and obtain certain things, there's people that want to obtain what you have, but they don't want to acquire the weapon. They don't want to go and acquire the tool. It's just like if you go into I almost said Handy Andy. I don't know why I'm thinking about Handy Andy. Handy Andy been out of business over 30 years. Home Depot. You can't just walk in there and get a tool. You got to pay for it. You can't walk into one of these ranges, pistol ranges, and acquire a weapon. You're going to have to pay for it. There's going to be some checks and balances. You got to be in a state where you got to have a permit or ID or whatever it is in your state. Here, you got to go through a 72-hour background check and all that stuff. But you're going to have to pay for it, right? The knowledge that you get, you could pay for it. You could go to school, but you could also pay for it by taking the time, because time costs. Time is a resource. And if you're spending time doing something, that's time being spent. It costs, because you could be spending that same time doing something else. That's why there's a term that says don't waste time. Don't waste time, because it costs one way or another. People don't want to spend the time. Spend, because it costs the time to do what's in their best interest, which is educate themselves. So what they do is when they come across their competitor who has, whether they acquired it from a higher level of education or whether they've consumed it and self-taught or a combination of both, they get upset. But that separates whether the person acquired it from a higher level, self-consumption, or a combination of both. That's what separates that individual from the individual who did not want to spend the time. It cost. You may not pay for it from a financial perspective, but the time is the cost. And you know why people don't want to spend the time to do what's in their best interest, which is the knowledge and the education? And even still here, there's more people that struggle in this industry. But and I'm doing a social experiment, and I'm doing this purposely. When I come up here and I cook up and it's the man and get it out the mud and we pulling out number sixes and all that stuff, oh, it's 100, 180 people. But the moment I talk about something that's gonna really, and everything that I do is educational. There's sometimes there's satire, I'll pull certain things out. But when I really when I cut all that bullshit out, and then I focus in and I just cook where, listen, I'm hitting you so much. You got your mind is like you consuming all this because I'm boom, boom, boom. I'm not slowing down with the satire, with the man and the getting out the mud. It's like, boom, it goes up and it goes down. You know why? Because it's too much for people to handle because they don't want to learn. Now, I ain't got time for this. Let me go back to half-assing. So even when you produce something that's educational for free, you don't want to spend the time to consume it. Because you're not obsessed. You don't love it. Anything that I love, I'm trying to amass and acquire as much as I need to win. The object is to win. It's not to get by. It's not to have. It's to win. Seek, destroy, win. It's me versus everybody. We're fighting for the same customers. We're fighting for the same routes. A customer can only hire one company. If I'm a customer and I'm looking to move, I have a plethora of options to choose from. And guess what? Every single company that exists, that's in my market, that's advertising, that's listed, wants my business. It's not the fact that they don't, they do. Only one of them can win. I'm not finna have 3 or 4 different companies. I'm gonna hire you to move this bedroom. I'm gonna hire you to move the studio room. I'm gonna hire you to move the. No, I'm only gonna hire one. May the best man win, or may the best company win. Every single challenge, every single roadblock, stepping stone. There was a guy that came up on the call-in show yesterday. He's a person that always is looking to acquire knowledge. I salute him. He's probably one of the people who's called up on the call-in show the most. He's active in my Discord. He's not ashamed to reach out and acquire knowledge. We talked about 2 times when he found my channel. He was down to his last. It's in the content. He found me. I gave him what he needed, and it's been up. Shout out to Talk with Walt, Jay Colby. Jay Colby is a person, he'll come in the chat and laugh and troll at all the ignorance. But let me tell you something about him. In a year, what is Jay Colby on? What is Colby on? Like 5 or 6 trucks moderators? And every time people come into the Final Mile channel in the Discord, he's the person that's responding if I'm not really paying attention or I'm busy. He's like the head person there. And he tells everybody the same thing. He gives them one specific video. He said, look, I was doing OTR. It wasn't going good for me. I found Mark's channel. I found one specific video. He said, man, I followed this blueprint. And I'm at 7 trucks in like a year and a half. Successfully. He said, I followed the blueprint. He gives them the one video that he followed. He's at 7 trucks now in Final Mile. He don't have to tell him nothing. He said, look, this is the video I watched. I transitioned out OTR. I was struggling, found Mark's channel. I saw this video. I just took a chance and I just followed it step by step. 7 trucks. Shout out to Kobe. These are guys that actively even still consume and are searching. You know why he's at 7 trucks in a year and a half? He loves what he do. You'll go into the Discord and he's active in that channel, Final Mile. And he'll tell you, look, everything Mark said, you got to be a dog, but I love this. He loves it. This is why when he does come, he's laughing at the ignorance that some of the shit people say. And he'll tell people, like, this man done laid it all out for you. All you got to do is listen. It's right there. And that's why every time you see him, he's just laughing and trolling the ignorance. You know why? Because if you really love what you do, you're going to spend your time seeking all the information to be successful. You're not going to waste your time on Zeus. You're not going to be searching Instagram for the new baddies, cooking with Kaya and all this stuff that's popping up in my feed. Everybody talking about all the new stuff. You're going to ignore all that stuff and you're going to look for information that is going to be, something that's going to reflect or that you can input into your everyday that's going to yield positive results for your business and your personal life. Hit the like button. When you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do, it can be contagious. Now, you'll grow your business. You'll have some people that will fit into the barrel that the lecture was on Friday, but you'll also have people that work for you that your passion, your resilience is going to inspire them. Now, it may inspire them to duplicate what you're doing, and they may go about it the ethical way. Some may not. But still, they're looking at success. I had an employee that came up and he talked about it. Some may not want to do what you do, but because they see the passion and they feel it, it inspires them to come and want to work. And I'm not going to say for you, just work. And because that passion kind of pours into them that they see that you have for your business, it's going to reflect their work ethic when they come to work for your business. It becomes like a magnet. People like people that ultimately inspires them to duplicate that same level of success that they see in other people. It wears off on them. If you're not obsessed with your own business, if you're not going above and beyond for your own business, what makes you think your employees going to want to put in maximum effort when they see you not willing to do it? You know what drives morale is when employees, one thing that drives morale is when employees know you built the business from the ground up. They know, they saw, they heard, if they came in the latter part after it was already done, that you went through the trenches to get the business to where it is as far as when it hits a level of success. They love that. They also love, and what would drive morale is when the owner will lace up their boots and do what needs to be done to meet the needs of the business. When they're not too high fly that they've, come out of the trenches, but they won't put those boots on to go back in. They don't like that. Listen, I will get on a forklift, I'll unload a truck, I'll do whatever I need to do to meet the needs of the business. I'm cleaning up pit bull shit, everything. I'm everywhere. Why? Because it's mine. And I love it. And I care for it. It's just like when you go to somebody's house. I'm using different analogies to try to, hit different people. You could tell a person that really care about their crib. And we all know people like that. You're going to go into somebody's crib, they'll eat dinner, get up from the table or wherever they ate. You got people eat on the couch and they'll just leave the plate right there with whatever they had on it, go lay down, won't throw the stuff, won't scrape the scraps in the garbage can, leave the plate wherever. Or you'll get into somebody's car and it's just garbage everywhere. And, different strokes for different folks. But, I think cleanliness is next to godliness. I think, you can tell a person who appreciates their car or appreciates their home because it doesn't take nothing but a little effort to take out the trash, clean up behind yourself. Listen, if somebody called me right now and said, yo, I'm downstairs, buzz me up, I ain't gotta keep them downstairs for 30 minutes because now I gotta run. And no, I'm TTG. It's already ready to go because I'm just a clean person anyway. Why? Because I love what God has blessed me with, even businesses. I'm obsessed. I have OCD for real. I have OCD for real. Anybody that knows me will tell you, bro, he got OCD. When it's something that he gets involved in, he becomes obsessed with it. I have to win. Oh, I'm gonna die trying. You know why people don't do what's in their best interest or they give up? Because they building something that really they feel indifferent about. It's like the couple last night. I really think they felt indifferent. Like it ain't got nothing to do with the niche. I just think, because notice when I said, yo, all right, y'all don't feel like y'all want to go over the road. It's him and then it's her. She really don't want him to go over the road. Why? Because she really wants to see him every day. I already got that feeling. That's why I said, well, you're going to have to come up to the Midwest to get the freight. I'm just throwing it out there. You want to come up to the Renac. Oh, no. He was tripping over hot shot. He really don't want to go over the road anyway. No research. They just looking for something that they think that turnaround gonna be quick. No. I don't even think trucking is the answer. Trucking ain't really the answer for a lot of people. No matter what niche, some people, oh man, I don't want to lift nothing. Oh, I don't want to touch nothing. Oh, I don't want to go over the road. Well, what do you want to do? It's a bunch of don't. And goes back to what I said at the beginning. If you are a serious entrepreneur and you love what you're doing, it ain't about what you don't. It's about what the business needs. If you love the business, you want to do whatever. Listen, let me explain something to you. You invest your money into something. I'm going to tell you this. If you really cared, if you really loved, if you was really obsessed, you're going to become a slave for the business. You will become a slave. You don't dictate. The business does. You know why? Because things change. Nothing stays the same. And guess what? If things change, whether it's consumer buying patterns, economical downturns, shift in the economy, tariffs that could potentially create some type of buyer pullback. It could be anything that could affect what you have going on, because your business depends on other variables, how people spend money, so on and so forth. And if something changes, then you have to change to meet the needs of the business. Why? Because you're in business to do what? Make money. But all I hear is a bunch of I don't. It's not up to you. And a person who feels indifferent, you can't feel indifferent and be obsessed. You can't feel indifferent and have love. If you love it, you're going to listen. Let's do the kid analogy again. That's why I say a business is like a kid. People love their kids no matter what their kids turn out to be. It's people that really give kids everything they need to be successful. And just some kids just don't want to do right. Parents still love them. They still try. I know guys that, man, it's just they couldn't get right. They couldn't get right. Mama was always there, no matter how. I know guys, I got guys, listen, no matter how. My brother, man, no matter how many times he went to jail, Mama was there. I remember one time she went and bailed him out from the county. She got off work. She sat there. If anybody know anything about the county, yeah, once you go place the bail, the processing could take another 8 hours. She sat outside the county on California and waited. Cause see, here, your ops would catch you coming out the county, they get you right there. She waited. No matter how many times. I got homies, same thing. That generation of boomer parents, it's just they love and admiration for their kids. It's just different. No matter how many times. Prayer, never giving up. Those parents never gave up on their kids. Those boomer parents, they ain't give up. It's a little bit different now. But it's just the same thing with the business. You know why a parent don't give up on their kids, especially when they got kids that just can't get right? It's because they love them. They created them. They birthed them. So no matter what wrong they do, no matter how many times they, talk to them and cuss them out and whoop their ass and whoop them and have the pastor pray for them and put holy oil across them and everything else. I could sit here and tell you stories from within my household, in my upbringing. No matter how much, mama still gonna love they kids. Daddy still gonna love they kids. It's the same thing with a business. It's the same thing with a business. The way parents, now we talking about parents, because we see in today's society, just from an example we saw that came up on the channel, I ain't gonna say no names, but if you follow the channel, you already know what we talk about. Back in the day, it's a different the boomer parents, the X's, different generation of parents. No matter what you did, they gonna cuss you, they gonna whoop you, they gonna beat you, holy oil across your head, pastor gonna come out to the house, pray. Listen, I done been through it all. I done seen it all. Still can't get right. Parents still gonna love you. It's that same thing about the business. You gotta have that type of love. There can't be any sense of, you can't feel indifferent. Ain't no such thing as don't. It's whatever the business needs. You gave up you and your personal, preferences and dealings when you decide to start the business. See, when you work a job, you got that PTO thing, that paid time off. You got bereavement days. Somebody passed, they're going to give you 5 days. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Yeah, it was your mama, your daddy. All right, so, yeah, first of all, condolences. Sorry for your loss. We give you 5 days. Your mama, your daddy, 5 days bereavement. Your mama, your daddy, 5 days. They give you 5 days. All right, well, I understand you do got to prepare. 5 days may not be enough. So then how many PTO days you got? Hopefully you got some PTO days. Then you can combine those 5 bereavement days with maybe 5 PTO days, because we're going to give you time to set everything out. It takes about a week. And then after the services, we give you a few days to get over it and then come back. They don't really care. And you know what? As a bonus, the company will send a bouquet. But they give you something. But when you run a business, you don't get none of that. You might not. Shit, you might have to work to the day of. You got to meet the needs of the business. But you going to close your business down? What if you got a business at scale? Let's forget the owner operator. Let's look down the line. You scaled up. You got 5 of them things. You got 10 of them things. You got 15 of them things. You got 20 of them things. Let's say you got 10 of them things. It don't matter the niche. Let's just say 10 of them things. So we know, regardless of the niche, that's at least 10 drivers. Depending on the niche, that could be 20 people, that could be 30 people. You got a personal situation you got going on in your life. And we're going to give an example. It could be mama or daddy. Unforeseen. Them 20 or 30 of them 10 guys, man, condolences, but man, I got the cost of a business that got 10 trucks plus X amount of guys. I can't shut the business down because mama gone, or daddy gone. The show got to still go on. I gotta plan and set this up all while still running the business. It's the life you chose. You know why? Because it ain't about you. See, you gave up. I can't shut down. Now, somebody probably watching like, dude, you crazy. Man, everything getting shut down. I hear you. I feel you. But when you at scale, if you ain't never been at scale, you don't understand the cost associated with being at scale and other people depending on you. This is what you gave up. Target, Walmart, Amazon ain't shutting down because one individual is going through an unforeseen situation that's hitting close to home. Man, that's your situation. Man, condolences. We gonna send a bouquet. But at the end of the day, man, listen. The only thing that's going to fuel you is that love and that passion and that obsession. You got to meet the needs of the business, period. If you feeling different, no, it ain't going to work. You got to be 100% in, and it's got to be fueled by obsession and passion. Even the people that are struggling. You know what? Why Talk with Walt ended up after he came on the channel and I coached him. Because even down to his very last, he kept searching. He found me. And by the grace of God, I had enough time to get him on the right path. What if he would have just gave up? The obsession, forget giving up. What if he wouldn't have had that obsession to continue to search for knowledge? See, a lot of people give up. The reason why they give up is because they don't want to go do the knowledge. That's what it is. He searched for knowledge. He's still searching for knowledge. Listen, bro, I'm telling you this now, bro. Anybody that watch my channel, they know it's a few things I'm passionate about. Education is one of them, and you know why. I come from an educator household. I come from an educator's household. education is what took a lot of summers. We didn't, like, even in the summertime, we didn't get a chance to spend time with our OG. Why? Because, man, we was poor. She had to work summer school to keep clothes on our back. So even when we got out, we still had to go to grandma's house. Mama had to go to work. She had to teach summer school. She taught after school. When she needed to increase her revenue, guess what? She got to go back and get a master's degree. So now she working, teaching summer school, and studying for a master's degree. I want to make more money. I go get back a second master's degree. So, man, education kept her busy to the point where we still didn't get a lot of time. We not know. But I see and I understand the power of it. What's crazy to me is in today's society, when education is plentiful, where you don't necessarily have to seek a higher level of education because it's not just bound to, a building with a tuition, right? Where you can seek it. There's plenty of free lectures. There's full courses. There's introduction. I think MIT, their introduction to business one-on-one lectures, you can watch them free on YouTube. It was an MIT, is it Yale? One of those. Intro to business one-on-one, lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's free. You're not obsessed. You don't love it. Because if you loved it, you would go do what's in your best interest. I love acquiring information. Why? Because it helps me to continue to level up. And guess what? I love acquiring it. I don't, it's not something that I have to force myself to sit down and do. I do it because I love it. I like to continue to consume information that's going to make me better. Anything that I do, I want to be good at it. I don't want to have it. And guess what? A lot of people, well, you know what? During my evolution or my journey in trucking, this platform, it didn't exist. And I didn't, you guys didn't get to witness it. But the people that have been following my journey on YouTube, you can see how the content has evolved. You got people on YouTube, and I'm not speaking in this niche, that do content and it's just the same. They don't experiment. They don't try new things. They don't invest back into it is what they're doing. And then you see the results. If you've been following my journey, you see the investment, you see the evolution of it, you see the commitment, you see the time spent. If you were watching on New Year's Eve when I was talking to Kenneth, I don't know how we got it, but he talked about why, I don't know how we got on it, but I was telling, like, well, I do the streams because it helps with my public speaking. Like, my public speaking has, like, the knowledge is there. It's just how you verbalize it. One day I do have a desire to do public speaking. This helps. This is the schooling that I need. This is what I need to go through. For one, we conquered the jitters, we conquered the nervousness, we conquered everything. Now it's how to piece things together how to keep people engaged. These are things that in today's time I'm utilizing what didn't exist 30 years ago and educating myself on the how to. TVs in my crib are wall art. They never get cut on. The only time my TVs get cut on is when my girl is over here. TVs in my crib, it's wall art. I'm always searching for information. I was telling who was I talking to in the Discord the other day? I ain't watched the Bulls game this season. And guess what? I ain't the only one. They say the NBA viewership is down 53%. So I ain't the only one. And guess what? When I did try to watch a game last week, when Derrick Rose got his uniform number retired, guess what? Found out that day I can't even watch local games no more. I got to get a goddamn antenna because the network that carried all the local games for the Bulls, the White Sox, and the Hawks, they ceased operation in September. So now the only way you can watch a Bulls game locally, if it's not on NBA TV or League Pass, you gotta the antenna. You gotta get an antenna and watch it on regular TV. Where the hell do you buy an antenna from in these days? I don't even got a regular TV. I got TV on the wall. Like, how do you even do that? How do you watch regular TV today? So I guess I won't be watching no Bulls. I wasn't watching them no way. The point that I'm trying to make is I don't even engage in entertaining things. No, Paul, you can't watch a local game no more. The local network, they ceased operation. NBC, Chicago Sports Network, they ceased operation. So they say in order to watch a local Bulls, Blackhawks, or what you call it, if it's not on NBA TV or League, I'm not finna spend $50 a month for League Pass because I'm not watching the games like that. I could turn on Chicago Sports Network, whatever channel it was, 2 something, and catch a Bulls game, or just have it playing in the back and I'll look over. But now, since they ceased operation and NBC didn't partner with them or whatever happened, in order to watch a local game, if it's on NBA TV, fine, I got NBA TV. I'm not paying for the League Pass because I'm not watching that shit like that. I have to go get an antenna, put it to the TV, and I can watch local games on channel 62 on regular TV. I haven't watched regular TV since when was that when they made the antenna? They took regular TV, you had to go get the digital antenna. It was like 08? Was that like 08, 09, 07? Well, if you didn't go buy the digital antenna, like regular TV just went off the air. That was like 08, I think. Where do you plug a digital antenna on the back of a flat screen that's on the wall? I don't know. All right. But the point that I'm trying to make is I'm always consuming for information. Eventually, when you become successful at something and money is just not the object anymore, everything is kind of like the success is there. The next thing is fulfillment. Because the trend. Remember what N.W. Lou told me? Oh man, you ain't in the trenches no more. What ain't that the objective? Who wants to be in the trenches forever? That's the craziest thing. You come up out of something, you got them trying to pull you back down. The objective of success, to work your way to get revenue and money, is to get up out of it. And then when you get up out of it and you try to give people the information so they can get their ass up out of it, you ain't in the trenches, I'm in the trenches. You made it up out. Well, if you shut up and listen, I'm giving you the information you need so you can get your ass up out of it. But you too busy up here hating. Don't think I forgot. You think I forgot? Because it's 2025? No, I didn't forget. I use that as fuel. You're going to see my face because I'm going to remind you. It's fuel. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love when people say shit like that. Ignorant shit, I bet they're going to see me a little bit more often, pimp. I'm not the one to after you get about that shit, now you're just looking for fulfillment and you looking to give back to others. Not everybody gives back to others. You know something we hear in a lot of community or not? Gatekeeping. The game is to be sold, not told. Okay. And you know what I prove every day? You can get a game away for free and majority of people ain't going to take it because they ain't going to want to go educate themselves. See, a part of giving things back, you can give the information, but you got to take it, consume it, and apply it. You know what we get? We get a minimal amount of people that consume it, put it in their back pocket, and go apply it. You got people that just come look, consume it, and then that's it. That's it. That's as far as they take it. So even when you give it away, what I'm proving, you can give it away, and you know what you're gonna get. Oh man, hey man, you what buddy ass said? What buddy say a week or two ago? Oh man, we don't need it. We from the struggle. We don't need working capital. What? How you running a business? How can you run a business with no money? That's crazy to me, bro. I don't get it. You know a person that says that? That's a person that don't love what they do. Because if you love what you do, one, you're going to do what's in your best interest. Two, you ain't going to say no crazy shit like that. So that's a person that don't love what they do. And two, refuses to educate themselves. 2025, we not entertaining ignorance. There's no ignorance. I'm not debating. I'll debate education. Two people that are, have some level of common knowledge or common sense. It doesn't have to be a person who has a higher level of education or just really, really articulate, just some type of common sense and common knowledge. Like things, when people say things like that, bro, I'm not entertaining that. You know why? Because the saying, it really means something. When you argue with fools, you can't tell the difference. So if I'm arguing with something that's just overly ignorant to the point where it's foolish, man, bro, a person that's, I'm just not doing it no more, bro. When people say things that are ignorant, and then another thing, you have people, when people say ignorant things like that, or people say ignorant things like education doesn't matter and things, there's people, a minimal amount of people that side with this, which is more ignorance. Because ignorance, birds of a feather flock together. So when the person says that, oh, you don't need working capital. Saying working capital is saying you don't need money to run a business. That's basically what you're saying. I'm not finna try to explain business to a person that says some shit like that. This year, this is a wrap. Figure that shit out, pimp. Once you reach that level of success and you making money and you find the fulfillment, success is it just becomes a byproduct. That's it. And then that's it. Then everything else follows. Customers, growth, recognition, in anything you do. Once you find the formula of success, everything else is going to fall into line. Can somebody direct Dominique to the lecture? I got a 4-hour lecture on that. You can watch the 4 hours. Now we're gonna see if Dominique go watch that. Was it 4 hours? It's 4 hours. I broke it down. Not doing it. No more. It's a video up that you can go watch. It's all there for you. I sat and took 4 hours, and it's up. You can go watch that, Dominique. Everything is going to follow. Becomes a byproduct. It's that simple. Work is associated with it to get to that point, right? It's on the channel. It's on the channel. But you have to love the work. See, let me tell you what the issue is. The hardest part is the beginning, because that's when the most of the work, the labor intensive, the knit and grit, the gritty, the hard, it gets greater later. The hardest is at the beginning. Why? It's just you got to build. You ain't got nothing. You got to build a foundation. See, when you building a house, you got to dig into that ground, and then you got to start laying that foundation in the ground. I ain't talking about one of them houses that's built on flat. I'm talking about when you dig in that basement. You got to dig into that earth and start laying that foundation. That's hard. See, when the interior designer come in there and you get to go to Home Depot and pick out your floors and your walls and all the aesthetics, that's more visually rewarding. You like to see the part when you get to go, oh, we're going to do them floors. Oh, we're going to do them fixtures. That's more appeasing because that's the aesthetic part of it. It's work associated with it, but it's more visually pleasing. That digging in the ground, building that foundation, ooh, Charlie. I went to the V. My major in the V was carpentry. I built the house before. This is back in the 90s when we was in high school, when you went to vocational school, depending on what your vocation was. If you was an auto mechanic, you really worked on cars. If it was auto body, you really fixed cars. People would bring their cars to the school because they didn't want to pay. They didn't want to go to the auto body place. The people that would have insurance back then. So, you know, we're going to take it to the V. They got an auto body. Yeah, it's going to be some high school kids, but shit, man, I got to get this done now. I'd rather let them do it because they're going to do it for free. So back then, when you went to vocational schools, when vocational schools were prevalent, it's a few still around, but not as much as it was back in the day. Whatever your major was, you spent half of your day in your major and then the other half in the academic courses. So your junior and senior year, half of the day was in your shop. So my junior and senior year, half of my day was carpentry. My senior year, we built a house. So I have that skill set. The foundation is different. It's different when you out there in the hot and digging and all that stuff versus laying some floors down or building a wall, placing them studs 16 inches apart. Come on, man. Big Mark, no carpentry. I went to the V. My major was carpentry. I think y'all see there's a lot of tricks up the kid's sleeve. I just don't talk about it all. Yeah, they need to bring vocation back. They need to put vocation back in the school or reopen or transition some of these career academies back to vocation. Why? Because a lot of these skills are needed. These are the jobs that we need people to do. Man, this is all about design. Now, in hindsight, I see why they took vocation out. Like it makes sense later on. I'm looking at the stuff in LA going on. Like, why the hydrants ain't got no pressure? And you got the Pacific. Like certain things just don't make sense to me. Certain things just don't make sense to me. But you got to have a passion, bro. At the beginning, it's the hardest. But once you, and see, that's the thing, people can't get through the beginning. What you know about a T-square? You know, 5-star, me and you the same age. You know what we know about the T-square? 5-star, drafting class. Shout out to everybody that had drafting class back in the day. Come on, 5-star, man, you're making us tell our age, pimp. Yeah, I know about the T-square. I had to have drafting class. It was a requirement back in the day. Do they still got drafting in school today? They still got drafting in school today? I didn't like drafting class. I ain't finna hold you. I did not like drafting class. Some people like, damn, what's drafting? I know some of these young guys in here like, what's drafting? They're like, what's a T-square? Let me show you what a T-square is. I'm gonna tell you what a T-square is. Let me show you what a T-square is. That's a T-square. So this would go on our supply list, and brought a supply list to our parent. And one of the things was a T-square. We had to take this to drafting class. Five-star. Hey, say Lewis said, what's drafting class exactly? They don't know what drafting class. They don't even teach it no more. Only a person that's probably maybe 35, maybe 38 and up may know what that is. But anyway, yeah, it gets greater later. It's tough at the beginning, but you know, once you reach that level of success, the customers, the growth, the recognition, it's gonna come. And then what's known don't need to be explained. What's known don't need to be explained. You become him. Your business becomes him. Or if you're a woman-owned business, it becomes her. You become her, the business becomes her. How do you create the obsession and the love? Well, first you ask yourself, it's the same thing I asked somebody recently. Why? Why is it you want to do it? Why you want to do it? How does it align with your goals? And if everything aligns up, then you're going to be passionate about it. It's going to follow. Immerse yourself. How do you do that? Learn everything. Listen, every single thing that I can acquire, I'm going to acquire it. Brain overload. What? That's some shit that somebody, to me, that's some shit that somebody made up. Brain overload? What is that? I need all of it. I need it all. You know why? Because I know what lies behind knowledge. Give it all to me. Listen, where you think it might not be a lesson, I'm trying to figure out what the lesson is in it. You might not see it. You might not think, man, it's a lesson here. Even in downfall, is a lesson that needs to be learned. Oh, she burnt you. Lesson learned. Strap up. It's a lesson in everything. Immerse yourself. Learn everything. What else do we talk about? Small wins. See, everybody want to chase them big. See, I always said, yo, the small wins. Yeah, keep chasing them home runs. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna stack these small wins up, and then I'm just gonna big dog. Small wins. Oh, I want me a new truck. I got to get a new truck. Man, that lady came up here on the channel when I first started streaming, and she was all gung-ho on a new truck. And I said, you know what? Y'all remember that? I always talk about it because she's a great case study. She went and spent 100 and some thousand, lasted 4 months. I appreciate it because she came back and said, man, I was wrong. You was right. I apologize. Yeah, that note was hitting her ass. And it was at the beginning of it wasn't at the beginning of the correction when she came, it was in the midst of the correction. Everything I told her, but she was gung-ho. She didn't want to be humble. She didn't want her old looking truck. Okay, all right. I'll take me an old truck any day. You know why? Because the aesthetic of a new truck is great, but that doesn't actually equate to increased profit margin. It equates to decreased profit margin. See, I'm about making as much money as possible. I'm not worried about things that scare other people. I'm about the bag, as they say. So celebrate small wins. Be thankful for the small wins and compound them. A win is a win. I'll take a big win, a medium win, a microscopic win. A win is a win. Because I remember it was a time winning wasn't even, I couldn't find a win. It's just like I told Talk with Walk last night. I said, you know what? What did I tell him? Shout out to everybody that watched the show last night. What did I tell him? I said, look, before you make any decisions, I want you to think about the hard times, the times when your business was on its last leg, them conversations that we had when you came up, you clicked the link and you just didn't know what to do. Because this is going to help shape your decisions going forward. How do you think I know that to even be able to relay that information to him from wisdom, being 45 years old in a few weeks? Going through things in life. So that now when I do things, I think about certain times. No, I'm not finna go out and do what's in my best interest because I've seen enough. And when I make decisions, I think about the times that were hard. I think about the times I had to go it out. I think about the tough times. I think about the times where I just didn't know that only God could, it was only him. Listen, I had times where like I just didn't know what. And when I do things, I think about those times. Those times help me make the decisions that I make. Those help me make good decisions because those times, at times, I don't want to go back to that shit. I don't want to go back to that shit. So I appreciate small wins. Not everybody gonna be a gazillionaire. Everybody ain't finna be Jeff. Everybody ain't finna be Mark. Everybody ain't finna. And when I'm saying Mark, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Zuckerberg. These guys that I'm naming is B's, big B's. Everybody ain't gonna be Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody ain't gonna be Jeff Bezos. Everybody ain't gonna be Bernard Arnault. Everybody ain't gonna be Elon. Everybody ain't gonna be Charlie Munger. Everybody ain't gonna be Warren Buffett. Everybody ain't gonna be a Robert Smith. Everybody ain't gonna be a goddammit Oprah Winfrey. It's people that do well and live comfortable lives that have hit small win after small win and compounded them small wins, and they live quite well. People spend so much time chasing home runs that they let a bunch of small wins just pass them up. It's too minute for me. You done let 50 small wins go past you. You still chasing this home run, but guess what? You could have stacked them 50 small wins and you would be in a better position than you in right now. You know why people allow that to happen? One, they not obsessed, because if they was obsessed, they would have did the education. The education is what would have put them in the correct mindset to not let small wins go past you. A win is a win. Buy for $1, sell for $2. I'm worth more. No, your business just wants revenue. It ain't about what you worth. You need cash flow coming in. Listen, buy for $1, sell for $2, pimp. So when I say chasing home runs, when I say buy for $1, sell for $2, some people equate that to like ignorance. Oh, cheap freight. No, that's not what I'm saying. The people that are educated or can comprehend can understand the dialogue. They don't just go run off with what the narrative is that's being portrayed on the internet. Because what did we learn last year when we did the whole cheap freight thing? That everybody that says this, you ask them one question, they don't know the answer. But you're telling people what they're doing, but you don't even know what it's costing you to run your business. How can you say what's cheap or what's not cheap when you don't even know if it's cheap or not because you don't know what it costs? So we debunked that last year, and to most guys, they don't even know what it costs, but they run around here saying that. Buy for $1, sell for $2. Oh, $1? That's only $1 profit. It's 100%. See, you looking at it as $1. I'm looking at it as 100% because I'm looking at the margin. You bought for $1, you sold for $2, you doubled your money. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Well, I'm worth more. Here we go. This that me, I shit. See, now I'm gonna chase a bunch of them small wins, them dollars. I'm gonna stack it up. Keep waiting for that big win. While you keep waiting, I'm gonna take that. I bought for $1, sold for $2. Give me that $1. Yeah, give me that $1. Yeah, I bought it for $1. You want here? I sell it to you for $2. $2? All right, bet. Give me that $2. Double. I'm gonna stack them dollars up, pimp. Keep chasing that home run. Damn, you still waiting for them home runs? All right, bet. And I'm going to thank God for these small double ups. It's just like those guys that go to the casino. They go to the casino, they'll sit down, they'll win. Might go up 1,000, they might go up 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, whatever. Guess what? They don't know when to leave. Next thing you know, they lost everything that the casino gave them, and then they lost all their money too. Can't even pay their rent. Went in there with $100. 30 minutes later, they got $2,000. Didn't get their ass up and leave. Now they lost the 2,000 plus the 100. Plus they went to the ATM and withdrew everything. Then asked for a marker. Did all types of crazy shit. Now they busted and disgusted. Shout out to Great Polo. Great Polo said he about for $1 sale for $1.50. You know who good at that shit? Who are some of your favorite merchants? I ain't gonna name what the ethnic group. They good for it. They gonna buy in bulk. They gonna buy in volume. See, some people don't know the name of the game is volume in a lot of different industries. Some people will buy enough volume where they can sit on inventory for years. They don't care. They know eventually they're gonna sell through it. The more we buy, the cheaper we can get it per unit cost, which means we can compete. We're going to make our money in volume. Finding the joy in the challenges. I told you before, obstacles. Look at them as growth opportunities. I love challenge. I love challenge when it comes from just organic challenge, things that just it just happen throughout the growth of business, just obstacles that you have to overcome. And then when human challenge. See, human challenge, organic, like obstacle challenge, okay, we ain't really fretting on that. We just gonna go ahead and whatever need to be fixed, all right, that's broke, let's fix it. Roadblock here, it's gonna require a little bit more work to complete the task. No problem. Let's roll up our sleeves, put our head down, let's get it done. Now, challenge, like human challenge, oh man, you can't do this. Not that you can't do it because you ain't got the working capital, or like a guy told me, oh, man, you want to start this company, bro. It's too many white-owned companies that's generational, man. They ain't finna let you come in like that. No, bro. I can find a niche. I can carve out a niche. I can carve out a niche where I'm going to focus on that niche and I'll grow. Hit the like button. Or just challenge when people say like try to hold you back. That type of challenge, man, I'm not the guy. You tell me something and it's coming from a place of malice, I'm not that guy. I'm gonna turn up on your ass. It's best to just don't say shit to me. For real. Hate on me. I appreciate you. I'm not the guy to hate on. And I've proved that even on here. I will turn up on your mom. I will turn up on you. I'm gonna work 2 times as hard just to prove your punk ass wrong. And that's how you should take it. You shouldn't look at challenge as a situation as a deterrent. You should embrace it and use that as motivation to turn up and destroy. Oh, you in the house? All right, I'm gonna show you what the house look like. I'm gonna always be in the house. You know why? Because we can afford to be. Education ain't this. All right, I'm gonna show you how much more articulate I can get. I'm gonna use bigger words. Oh, we're gonna keep a man on. You can't stop me. can't stop me. I love it. You want to become the person that you embrace it, where the hate, the challenge, it gets thrown right back at it. It becomes a weapon that they created for their own self-destruction. And guess what? Only if, listen, it's got to be a strong individual. Because when you get that type of challenge, oh, you gotta roll the sleeves up. You gotta really get to it. And it may require more time, more effort, more work. And it may be tedious, it may be rigorous. But don't look at it as a challenge that ultimately, as an obstacle. Look at it as an opportunity. If you were looking for any more ounce of ambition, any more ounce of passion, use it. Use it to your ability. Use it as a tool to push you to the next level. I love it. Ooh, you see, I love it. Listen. You want to be the guy that is just best to just be left alone. Stay curious. Stay curious. Because that's going to give you the fire to keep searching. It's going to give you what you need to stay ahead. And you have to be ahead. See, the pandemic is a great time period in trucking because there's a lot of lessons that, and now in hindsight, we can use as case studies that are teaching points. There's a lot of people that didn't stay ahead. They didn't care to stay ahead. They stopped being curious. Curious wasn't even a thing because they didn't even have the passion. They weren't obsessed. They were following trends. And guess what? They got caught left holding the bag. If they would have had everything that we discussed in this lecture, when Mark was telling them, yo, this is a bubble, it's already burst, it's this, that, and the third, it would have made sense to them. They wouldn't have pushed back. It's imperative that you stay ahead so you don't get caught left holding the bag. It's imperative that curiosity is what drives you to want to continue to learn and seek and better you, yourself, your business, your situation. The journey it can be rigorous when you are in the midst of it, but when you look back on it, it's beautiful. See, the beauty is later when you can reflect on it. You don't realize how beautiful the journey is when you're in the journey because you in the thick of it. You out there, you grinding, it's long, it's tough. You may have some battle wounds. I got some battle wounds, man. The pandemic beat me up. Them 3 years, man, that beat the shit out of me, bro. Y'all see me on stream doing this from time to time. Y'all know my shoulder fucked up because of that shit. I don't know what the fuck going on with my shoulder. I done been through therapy, all type of shit. That one armoire, that shit it was already going out because I was overexerting myself. And it's just I've been talking about this shoulder since the day it happened. But when I look back on it, that was an experience that I can talk about. Those memories, that journey, it becomes beautiful. When I talk about from the beginning, and that's why I won't get rid of truck one. I'll just continue to cover the cost of them trucks that I still got because it's, it's beautiful now. During the time period, it was rigorous, but I loved it. The only thing that got me through those hard times from dealing with people, just situations, claims, long days, long nights, just, just pressure, just having to meet the needs of a business with, and when I say, resources as far as the one thing that I wish that I've always wished I could have had was a person that could give me 75% of me. Even to this day, if I can find somebody that can give me 75% of me, meaning if I could clone somebody and they could just give me 75% of what I embody, oh man, I can get a lot more done. It's a lot of things that I still want to do in this short period of time that we have on this earth. It's short. Time goes fast. The older I get, the faster time is going. It's already 2:30. It's already 2:30 today. So stay curious, because that curiosity is what's going to keep you ahead. And I think I'm going to conclude there. That baseball analogy is so thorough because the most successful teams are the ones who get on base the most. Yeah, they have their time when they get home runs, but RBIs win games. I agree. Uh Mark, I be telling folks that would you rather have more money or more products to sell? Um, I think that's situational. Depends on the situation. I would, in today's time, just answering this question on the fly. Um, I think it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation and the product. It depends on the situation and the product. Last night you talked about the younger generation thinking it's not cool to have a job. Too many people think there's something wrong with being intelligent. There is no cool points for that. I agree. That's why last night I said, when people frown down upon being educated or being smart, that's just only ignorance would do that. We have brains for a reason. brain is not there to be dormant. And this is why, like, when I be wanting to talk and debate people will say certain things, but they don't want to get in that arena with me. And I ain't going to give you too much. It all depends on the individual. I'll give you enough to think that let me give them a try. And then I'm going to turn up to level 4 on your ass, or 5, or whatever I need to do. You're going to see some shit come that you never witnessed before because I never displayed it. I ain't going to never let you know what the left hand know what the right hand is doing. I always got to keep some tricks up my sleeve. And you should do that too. So, they're right. And when I tell people that, and when the people that push back, just lets you know they're ignorant. When you tell people you need money to run a business, the people that push back, ignorance. We not tolerating ignorance. It's plenty of ignorance out there that people can consume. It's plenty of it. So when people think things like that, it just lets you know what type of individuals that you're dealing with. There are no cool points for that. There's nothing cool about being not intelligent. What's cool about that? What's cool about in today's time where you can consume things for free and not doing it? What's cool about that? What's cool about doing shit on a whim? Ain't nothing cool about that. You know who thinks it's cool? You know the people who push back? It's cool. The people, and it's not, when people throw this whole struggle bullshit, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. See, back in the 90s and the 80s, that was an excuse. It was an excuse then because there's resources where a person can get knowledge that could get knowledge back then, especially if they come from the struggle. There were resources, but it was difficult to acquire. More difficult to acquire. There was process and procedures. Now with the internet, everybody got a phone. The poorest, the most desolate, the most impoverished communities, people in those communities have smartphones. There are lectures on YouTube. YouTube is free. You can watch it for free. You don't even have to have an email. If you want to leave comments and engage, yes, you got to have a Gmail, but you can watch it for free. You can consume for free. You can consume basic information, 101 level information from a college level, from a higher learning institute for free. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse in 2025. So when people say things like that, oh, the struggle. No, you're just lazy. Sit your ass down. Get you a goddammit notebook. Get you a notebook. See how I got this notebook right here? Because I write notes. I write notes. You know why? Because I consume a lot. So a lot of stuff I remember, then I'll be like, damn, so I write certain things down. Certain things I know automatically are going to go into my long-term memory. So I don't write those things down. Some things that may not be as pressing, I know are automatically going to filter into my short-term memory. See, I know what's going to go into my long-term memory. I know it's going to go into my short-term memory. So the shit that I know that I still need to attend to, that's going to go into my short-term memory, I write those things down. This is why this is right here. Because I'm consuming shit. So ignorance is an excuse in 2025. I don't want to hear that struggle bullshit. Because you don't even need resources no more. You don't need grants and scholarships. You can go to YouTube and forget YouTube, forget influencers. There are accredited colleges that offer free courses on you. Like, so, bro, even that's an excuse. Oh, well, I got misled. All right, well, what is it, MIT or Harvard? MIT. So, bro, I don't want to hear that shit, bro. MIT. Guess how I know that? You think I went to college in 98? You think I don't freshen up on things? Of course I do. You think I don't glance in some of those old textbooks that I couldn't sell them back to uh the uh the the bookstore? They ain't buy every book back after the semester was over. Some books they was like, we moving on to a new edition. We ain't buying that one back. I'm like, damn. I spent $200 on this book. I need $100 back. Now we ain't buying that one back, pimp. We moved on to a new edition. We'll take that economics book though. So I don't got every book. So I have to freshen up. MIT. Guess what? Business course. Right there. Intro to supply and demand.
This is
Preferences and utilities. Budget constraints. Demand curves. Production theory. Cost. Competition. Shit that we talk about. Shit that we don't talk about. Free. So I don't want to hear that shit. Struggle. When a person tell me, oh man, ain't no, I don't got no working capital, man, all that shit, man, bro, we from the struggle, but that's bullshit. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. That's why you struggling. Because you don't want to educate yourself because you don't want to take the time to do it. That's what it is. You think you're going to succeed in business and you don't know how to succeed in business? What is we talking about here? It's the most ignorant shit I ever heard in my life. How can you succeed and win at something when you don't know what to do? You think you're going to watch somebody on YouTube's journey and that's going to give you the information you need? No. All right, man. I'm out.